Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of Office Hours with Lanora. I want to thank you for taking the time out today to learn more about this new opportunity for some or new ways to transition from one stage to the next. So today is Valentine's Day. Yay! How many of you are excited about that? I am. Of course I am. So, office hours with Lanora will center around just that, Valentine's Day, a day of love. So, why not love your new real estate career? So, I've taken some notes for myself and I wanted to share the top 5 reasons why I think you should love your new real estate career. So, let's start with reason number 1. Most of you, if not all of you, should love being your own boss. Now, let's talk about that a little more. Being your own boss means now you get to manage your own time. Now you get to make the decision on, hey, do I get out of the bed today? Or do I work full time at this? Or is this something that I want to do on a part-time basis? We're just going to have to find that love, that passion for now being in control of your own schedule. So sometimes having that traditional 9 to 5 work for most people, and then they can include real estate as a way to supplement income or something that they can do on a part-time basis. But for those of us like myself who did real estate full-time, it made the difference because if I didn't get up that day, I didn't work, I didn't get an income that day. I didn't get an opportunity for future income to come by way of closings that I would have been able to do. So you have to look at this as, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing, depending on who you are. But definitely a good thing when you get to manage your own time. You can kind of say goodbye to being micromanaged because having that independency of being the boss, it's all on you. You don't have anyone per se looking over your shoulder, making sure that you're doing or completing and crossing the T's and dotting the I's and getting everything done in a timely fashion. That's on you. So a person like myself that's truly driven, it worked for me. And having that independency is a plus. So a love for being the boss, that's number 1 with me. Let's look at number 2. Love being an expert in the industry. We're talking about you now because being an expert in the industry, you've taken the classes, you've spent the time studying, you've taken that exam and earned your license, or you're in a position to start doing that. So even if you haven't chosen real estate as a career yet, it's something that you're looking into. Eventually, if it is something that you'll do, you'll be the expert in this industry. So that doesn't mean that you know everything about the industry, but you can start learning. So maybe it means that you continue to learn and continue to educate yourself even after you've earned your license through taking additional designations or certification classes or looking at ways to volunteer and learn from seasoned top producers in the industry. But being the expert is just that. When the traditional buyer or seller reach out to you as the real estate professional, they're expecting you to know what you know. So what you're learning in these classes or what you'll potentially learn in this class, having access to materials like the multiple listing service makes you the expert. So you should love what you do when it comes to a real estate career because of just that. If I needed a specialist because I wanted to get a new haircut, I know that I'm going to go to someone who, number 1, has been doing this for some time or have experience in this industry, or I've seen maybe Instagram posts or Facebook posts, them advertising their business, but I'm able to see that this person has become an expert in their industry. And that's what you're going to be one day if you're not already. Number 3, you should love being a problem solver. That's what we are, problem solvers as real estate professionals. So an example of that is you have a buyer who may be a first-time home buyer, has no clue what to expect, what this process looks like, what to even look for in their first home that they're going to be going on a tour with you. That's where you are, the problem solver. You're going to be able to explain to them what this process looks like. You're going to be able to hold their hands through the process. And for some of my former buyers, that made them feel safe. That made them feel like, again, me being the expert, I knew what to do to transition them from the first time home buyer to now helping them put those keys in their hands at the closing table. Because ultimately, that's what's important. Number 4, think about this, because this should actually be number 1. Now, your love of real estate, you get to help someone ultimately become the buyer and now the homeowner. So now this person, or even if they're looking to sell, has entrusted you with one of the major purchases or transactions in their lifetime. And it's all because of you. So if you don't get touchy-feely goosebumps and all excited about being the designated broker on that transaction, I don't know why most people would even get in the business if that doesn't excite you. I remember there was a time I had a buyer and we had a very bad inspection, and it felt like that this particular transaction was going all the way wrong. But when we eventually got to that closing table and I was able to pass those keys formally over to her, I cried because I knew all of the work that led up to that. I knew the passion that I had, and especially with this being a first-time buyer, I knew she needed to have this home for herself, her children, her grandchildren. So inside that love, that passion of real estate should come out. So all the hours that you've watched on HGTV, all the classes and the designations and the certifications and acronyms that you've gotten behind your last name, that's when it counts. When you're able to pass those keys across, or you're able to say to that seller, congratulations, you can move on to hopefully becoming my new buyer. So last but not least, let's talk about the love of your earning potential. Now, I won't talk about numbers specifically because that's, again, on you, the expert. You get to, in essence, write your own check, because there isn't a certain amount of hours that you need to work. There aren't a certain amount of people that you need to work with. It is up to you. So if you know that you have a goal as a real estate professional, after you've done all of the work, all of the taking the exams and practicing and moving along with the various buyers and sellers that you'll be working with, when you get to take that file back to the office and it's a closed transaction, you want to do that more than once, more than twice, multiple times. So if you do this full time, if you do it part time, it's up to you how much you earn. Nobody can set that cap on what your earning potential are. I know that was a passion of mine and a love of mine, and one of the reasons why I got into real estate, because as an employee, I wanted to feel like that, I make the decision on how much I work, which in essence also makes the decision on how much you're paid. So you'd have to discuss with your sponsoring broker what that looks like for you. But when it comes to the love of real estate, trust me, you're talking to the right person. With more than 15, 16 years in this industry, I still have a passion for it. And I don't even represent buyers or sellers anymore. I still watch my HGTVs and my $1 million listing shows and everything, because it's in the blood at this point. It's what I do. So if you or anyone else that you may know going forward are interested in learning about pursuing a career in real estate, have them call me. Reach out to me via email. Present a question here and we can get those questions answered. But I definitely enjoy opportunities like this to come before you and just briefly share some information about a career in real estate. And this one was more focused on the love of real estate, simply because of the holiday. Going forward, we're going to start moving into what a career looks like from a leasing agent point of view, from a broker point of view, because I want to move you from the coursework, or maybe let's start with an idea. Maybe you just thought about it or have been thinking about a career, and now you're ready to take the next steps. So we'll dig up much deeper into this new career or potential career, and we'll start talking more about what the requirements are, what type of licensing coursework you can look to expect to learn more about, and then we're going to look at how you move from the classroom or the course itself to the testing. And at that point, we're going to talk about what you can expect when you go and take your state and national exam. And after that, we'll move outside of the school and now get you prepared to go into the office and officially start working. Hey, it's been my pleasure again. This office hours with Lanora has been fun. So you guys reach out to me. I'm Lanora, your office hours expert in this field. Thank you so much. You guys have a great Valentine's Day, and try not to eat too much candy.